Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we cleared out the Arc Power Station, making our way to the Iris Core, and finding that a extremely hostile AI was within it. I'm guessing that someone had programmed her to defend this location from anyone wishing to redirect power to anything at all. We do not have the hacking in order to reboot her to a previous version, or it is not possible to do so. And our hacking feat is actually 122. That's pretty darn high. I think it's 137 with our hacksaw, but in any case, it was not enough. A shame. So I wasn't able to figure out anything else about her father, at least not with Decker. And now I am here really quick to allocate some power to the Mutant Tanks A. There we go. Since we did have a little leftover power, we might as well go ahead and just enable that too. With the Arc Power Station now cleared of hostilities and its assembly lines powered down, we should be able to freely come back here whenever we need to allocate power to different sections of Hollow Earth. We will eventually, however, have to deal with the burrowers, who will respawn outside of this location. Loot-wise, we did find a few oddities in there, and it looks like we're... what is this? 16? 17? 17. 17 oddity points from leveling up to level 29. I did not think we would reach it. I'm still not sure if we will, but it is within reach. We still have quite a bit left to explore down here in the deep caverns. We have the worm-filled tunnels to explore, the Carius residential district, the fungal forest. We need to more thoroughly explore the areas that we had been in earlier that was under the influence of Chort, and we need to make our way all the way over to the Mutant Tanks A and B and explore them. So there may be enough loot lying around for us to actually do this. Oddities lying around for us to level up because of all the areas we still have yet to fully investigate. In any case, the next thing for us is to go back down to our storage and drop off some of the stuff that we picked up while we were in the Arc Power Station. Oh, we're not as heavily burdened as I thought we were. We're at 136. I must have kept dropping off garbage as we didn't need it. And we didn't search these guys' pockets last time, did we? You didn't think you guys would avoid having your pockets searched, would you? You don't really have anything. I don't think there's any oddities we can steal from them, so they can take what's in their pockets. They may be faceless, but they're not pocketless. Yep. I planned to say that quite some time ago. Forgot. Aren't you all happy? I said it now. Alright, so what's going on? So, alright, let's do some inventory management. Very important to do inventory management. You don't want to be carrying around stuff you're not going to be using. Let's see. How's our pistol? Pistol is in tip-top shape, as is our power fist. We could use a recharge on our hacksaw, so let's do that. You know what I should do? I should put these batteries here. This way I can just quickly access them. Because you can do control, like 9, and then click on something with it if you need that power. Alright, so we picked up some metal plates, and I think we have the TNT to make some more hollow point rounds. There we go. We didn't find a whole lot of other special ammunition down here. I don't recall seeing any more armor-piercing rounds when we searched the warehouses earlier. And I don't think we're going to find a whole lot in the other areas we haven't explored yet. We're down to 40 standard rounds that aren't in the clip. Do we have any bullets over here? 91. We left some in the warehouses. We'll go pick up a few on our way. I suppose we don't need all of these batteries either. We have some garbage food on us that we don't... garbage food. We don't need these drugs. Let's go ahead and... Oh, well... We'll hold on to that at the moment. Alright, let's think here. We're gonna get poisoned. Not where we're going. So we don't need... the egg. Oh, I forgot I brought 7 juice with me. I probably should have used a little bit... drank a little bit of that earlier. Let's take some bison milk with me, but we're not going to eat it yet. I will take some... not sleight of night. We don't need that. Where's my... There it is. Our artwork. Okay, right. And we picked up some other supplies if I want to make an incredible power core... energy shield. We can't make it, but I want to see what we're capable of doing with this if we did have the electronics to craft this. As long as I'm here, we'll leave all this stuff behind as well that we don't need. Alright, a seeker lens as well. I'll have to keep an eye open for goggles. We did not find a better pistol frame yet either, did we? Alright, so let's see what we would have been able to create had we put a ton more points into electronics. I'm just curious. It's always fun to think of how powerful this item could have been. So I would take the medium frequency modulator and the 165. So what would we have earned? So first off, we would require 189 electronics. Good God, to create this with all the pieces we have here. That would be every single point I have, if I was to level 2 more times, sunk into electronics, and we'd have to still eat under pie. Or drink the +3 stat drink, and use Hypercerebics, and be standing in our workplace in order to actually build this, I suspect. And what would it gain us over what we currently have? 300 more absorption, a slightly better conversion rate, less damage absorption, 19 more energy. Not worth it in the end. Not worth it in the end. Okay, well... Oh, right, we have a jackhammer now as well. We'll keep it on us. It's a lot easier to use this than dynamite when it comes to breaking down walls for the areas we have yet to explore. One second, gotta blow my nose. Okay, that's better. Alright, so... where are we going? Oh, north a bit. We want to explore the warehouses that were in this area. Hopefully there's nothing in here that we need to come back for, because we don't want to have to constantly be reallocating power back and forth to the different areas here in Hollow Earth. You know, when I was here for the very first time with Garrett, looking back at that now, it occurs to me how lucky I had been that I went to the right places in the correct order when I had been here. Things could have gone so much worse for me if I had talked to the Chortists before the Faceless down here with Garrett, because I probably would have agreed to do their quest. In which case we would have made enemies of the Faceless instantly at that point. I forgot all about Cuddle Snails. Cuddle Snails have a ridiculous amount of armor, and we won't be able to hurt them with our standard bullets. Let's show you. We can damage them with our standard bullets. That was 4 damage. We'd have to empty every... Oh, I forgot to pick up normal rounds, Tim. We have to empty all the bullets into it. Armor-piercing rounds are much better at dealing with them, but we only have 52 of them remaining. So we don't even want to use them on them. We're going to have to use our Power Fist to hope they're vulnerable to electricity. Let's move back a bit. And it just occurs to me I have an EMP grenade on me. We don't need that on my belt. So we will expose weakness. It does take electrical damage from our Power Fist. Nice! Nice. They can be incapacitated and take at 200% damage. That was fantastic. I don't think we're quite in the... Yeah, we're not going to be contaminated. The thing about snails, you have to always remember whenever you see or fight snails, especially any dangerous type of snails, is number one, don't touch them. Right, isn't there a snail or a slug that's extraordinarily poisonous? It's like, it looks like it's full of hair, but those hairs are tipped with like an incredibly dangerous contact poison in real life. I think it is. I think they're in Florida now. In any case, the vulnerability of snails is that they're slow. Snails are not known, aside from the racing snail, of course. They're not well known for being very quick. It's been a long time, though, since I've seen a racing snail. Not since, what was that movie? Never-Ending Story. My goodness. Yes! This is why it's always so much fun to play a hybrid, and why I like hybrids so much. Because you can deal with most situations that other characters would not be able to deal with without. Well, actually, you could just have brought a ton more AP rounds to deal with the snails that way without any trouble. Let's put on our gas mask. All right, and we want to search everything in here. Let's get started. Thing in a jar. Some things are best left unexplained. 4 oddity points, everyone. 10 more left, I think. Is that right? 13. 13 left. I don't remember that item here before. I'm searching and taking everything in the barrels, so this way I can see they're all empty. If I ever decide I need to come back here for some reason, I will recognize that I don't actually need... Why are you doing that, computer? That I will not need to search any of this. Is there anything secret in here? Not that I can tell. Oop, but there is a toxic barrel with it next. Missed. Alright, let's go ahead and use that jackhammer we picked up, and I need it on my hotbar. Actually, we should also... No, I should keep that on. If there's cuddle snails here, I don't want to... I want to run through the gas. No, we shouldn't do this, but I'm going to destroy all the rocks because OCD is compelling me to destroy all the rocks. I need to destroy all 3. Get them out of the way. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to put 3 rocks there. There shouldn't be 3 rocks there. Now they're gone. Now we can recharge. Oh, yeah. We should be able to do this. Much easier than fishing around in the inventory. There's a skeleton here, but looks like he's quite dead. Nothing really worth it in his pack. I doubt there's anything really special in the box, but we're here now. Let's go ahead and search it. An acid bomb pistol, level 16. Nothing special about it, with some acid rounds in it as well. All right. How is our gas mask holding up? Didn't even take any damage. I don't have a way to repair it anyway, even if I wanted to. Okay. I did. So while we were in the Arc Power Station, I thought it was interesting that they have a robot assembly plant in there. able to manufacture enough drones to start a war or continue one. I wonder why they needed that capability down here in Hollow Earth. Maybe it was something that they had in secret. This is where they would produce their robots, BioCorp, and then ship them in other places, hiding the fact that they were doing so down here. Maybe they lost quite a few of them to some other things that were going on down here at the time, and they would be required to constantly be making new versions of them to keep something at bay. Or perhaps they just lost a ton of them while trying to explore different areas down here instead. And it just made sense for them to eventually build a factory down here. Still seems a bit odd, kind of out of the way. I don't think there was a military... Well, actually, there probably was. We saw various military vehicles up outside the Ark power station. But we also know that BioCorp fell at one point from glory. Isn't there an industrial bot here, Tim? There is, and it saw me. Hello, industrial bot. Bullet time. I think I can kill you. Uh-oh. Maybe we can't. Of course we can. Another quad bot damage module. Can only study it twice, so we don't get to study it anymore. Look at all these delicious shelves. I know you guys have been looking forward to me spending another 46 minutes searching them all. Let's go ahead and start that process. Hello! You discover a trapdoor. I know it never occurred to me there might be secrets hidden around here, and that I should be drinking juice and using my perception salads, mushroom salads, to find them. We'll come back for that. There's nothing in there I'm interested in. I am interested in the steel plates. Hydropneumatic accumulator. This is an HPA 73000 bladder type hydropneumatic accumulator rated at 3000 psi. It was manufactured by BioCorp Hydraulics North and seems to be in surprisingly good condition. 20 pounds to pick it up. So I think we're going to need it, so we'll take it. I want the various drug paraphernalia. There's something I didn't think I would ever say out loud. What's over here? An Omnitool. Hydraulic fuel canisters, 2 of them. This is a 5-liter hydraulic fuel canister. It's filled with Bio-MO G60 mineral oil-based hydraulic fluid, produced by BioCorp Hydraulics North. Let's take that too. I don't remember ever seeing that before. And now we're almost overburdened right now, so we'll come back here. Let's store a bunch of this stuff with the rest of our things. It's the metal plates, actually, that are weighing me down so much, but I do want to keep them. I guess while I'll be doing a bunch of walking back and forth, we can talk about some other games. So, let's look. What is on my list? I can't remember. I think I left off on Cosminator, so I'll start talking about a few other games that I had played. So I tried out Dark Future Blood Red States, and it turned out to be a game like Spy Hunter. Only you can slow the game down considerably to a fraction of a second, and like you can't pause a game, but you can slow it. You can slow it greatly down in order to help you issue queued commands to your car. You purchase different types of weapons to equip at different spots of your vehicle, and different types of armor and various upgrades for it as well. And you drive around and complete missions, gaining money and prestige in the world that you're adventuring in. It's apparently based on a Games Workshop IP of some sort. I was not aware of that. The game started out fun, but then I ran into lots of issues with the AI, and my vehicle would get stuck. It couldn't drive around very effectively some terrain, and you get penalized whenever your vehicle goes off-road and you can't get it back onto the road, which happened a lot more often than I wanted it to happen in that game. And the AI, again, the AI was not very good at trying to circumvent some of the issues that I was having. In the end, for me, I just found it way too frustrating to keep playing it. But it had great potential. I think if I was a lot more patient, or there had been a few mods made for the game, I would have liked it, but I don't think there were any created for it. Mods, that is. A shame. Oh, I'm still way down, Tim. You're bringing back the hydraulic canisters. You might as well leave them here. It was also one of the games that had been up on my survey for something to play. One of those new games. I forget which one it was that won. Oh, Hard Reset. I think Hard Reset? I think Hard Reset won the new game category that I had put up there at the time. I don't think these are the right hydraulic... You know what? Let's put all of this in a different locker. We also probably shouldn't need any of the key cards that we have any longer for the power station. Yeah, we can probably leave all of those behind. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if your keys are left behind or not because they don't weigh anything. But God, I gotta sort my inventory all the time. Another game I played was a game called Dust Bowl, which turned out to be a post-apocalyptic world. It had a top-down map when I was exploring it, and then it would go to a kind of like an old Sierra point-and-click adventure, like the Space Quest games and what have you. When you entered various areas you could explore. It had random encounters strewn about it, in a similar fashion to, say, like Final Fantasy, which you would be in an area and suddenly... Well, is that right? No, I'm sorry. No, not like that. Whenever you would transition to a new screen, there was a chance for you to have a random encounter in that screen. I guess, I think occasionally I did have a battle or two in the upper world, besides just exploring various subway stations or abandoned houses. I like the premise of it. You had to manage some supplies and your various stats. You had to keep yourself fed, hydrated, and make sure that you weren't going to die from radiation. But the combat was rather lackluster, I guess I should say. It was... I don't know why they made it more complicated than it needed to be. There was this... so you see our experience bar right here? Imagine that there was something that went back and forth across it. And when you click your left mouse button, it would stop over a spot. Depending upon where it stopped, would determine how much damage you do to the enemy. The dead center of it would allow you to kill an enemy outright, but it was extraordinarily difficult to hit that. It was like a sliver of a pixel. I never hit it, despite the fact I killed like 100 things or so on. The draw for the game was actually me trying to figure out how I could survive in this hostile environment. Get enough things to trade, enough food, and things that are liquid so I could drink, keep myself alive, and so on. But some bugs in the game made it a bit too easy to do so. Things would respawn. And I'm not talking about just creatures. The items you could open and search, like chests and shelves, would fill up with whatever was in... It would choose random things for you to find in them. It's like the room we're currently in. Imagine if I left this, and I did something for like 2 hours, and then I came back to this, and all these shelves would be filled again with loot. And that made it a little too easy. And I couldn't stop myself from doing it because when you take damage, you take so much damage and you need to heal yourself, so you need to farm. You need to farm things. So you have the money to survive. Which is good, but man, it's just pure luck if an enemy hits you or not. Or at least it felt that way. And when your armor's damaged, there's no way for you to repair it. You gotta build new armor, if I recall correctly. And that gets expensive. And so I ended up spending way too much time just opening the same chests over and over again. And in the end, I realized what I was doing. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, the game's a little... It's probably not for me, this game, at that point. I think that had also been a game that was on my survey almost over a year ago. Wow. Over a year ago, everyone. Believe it. I played a game called Solar Settlers. It's a puzzle game of sorts. Like, it's a single-player game only, and your score gets uploaded to when you're doing like the daily challenge to compete with other people who have played the game. And it was surprisingly addicting and a lot of fun. It's very simple, the graphics that you see, and it reminds me more of playing a board game. But oh, if I didn't love it! I thought the gameplay was very addicting. It's very challenging to get more and more points in the game. And I could tell that if I was to keep at it, I would get better and better and better at it. There's different races in the game that you unlock as you play through the game. Your objective is to try to get a certain number of settlers to survive in this area of space. You have to manage energy to move people. You have to manage oxygen to keep them alive. You have to manage other resources to play cards down on the board. And you explore to reveal certain tiles so that you can place those cards on the board. I would highly recommend you look it up if you are interested in a turn-based puzzle game of sorts. I was tempted to record it for my channel, actually. I liked it that much. I thought it was a really phenomenal game for what it was. The guys apparently, developers made several other games in a similar vein, in that they're puzzle games. And they've all gotten pretty good reviews from when I was checking up on them. So maybe I'll try a few more of his games and see if I like them or not. Actually, I think I bought like 2 more of them during this winter's summer sale. Do I want even more steel plates? I don't think I do. I do. What we got over here? All right. 126 boot spring. I will take you. Alright, that was another game. For Halloween, I remember struggling to find some new games to play from my channel because I wanted, in addition to playing the games I always played for Halloween, which is, what is it? Consuming Shadow. I always do 2 runs through that game now, and Empire's like Cold Chronicles. I do 1 playthrough of that one. If I take this, I'm going to be overweight. Or am I? Is it 25 pounds? It's 25 pounds. Oh, we are so overweight. Then I will just drop this, and you drop some, just a little more, Tim. There we go. Okay, let's drop this off back at our supplies. We'll be back to search the rest of this. I tried a bunch of games, and because again, I want to play something new, and I did find a few games I owned which were fantastic. We played No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. I really liked that game. I thought the atmosphere was amazing and the sound was fantastic. I really liked the unique way in which the creature chased you, because you saw out of its eyes while you tried to control yourself running from it in terror. A bit awkward, I will admit, but I still liked it. It wasn't too frustrating. But one of the games I tried was a game called Inside D6. And it had a few moments that were creepy. One, not so much a jump scare, but a panic section. But it was mostly... Oh my god, Faceless! It was mostly just a walking simulator, which is okay. I don't mind those very much. But it wasn't scary enough for my channel. And I was able to beat it in 1 hour as well. So in the end, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to do this one. You see, when I try games for the channel, maybe you guys do the same thing if you're a YouTuber. Maybe well, who knows? Maybe you don't. I test the game out for an hour often, or I'll play a little bit of the tutorial to see if I understand what type of game I'm about to play. This is especially true if I'm going to be recording a game. I do not like recording games that I haven't played. at least an hour of. It's something I tend not to do any longer. My concern is that, first off, if the game turns out not to be good, and I dislike it for various reasons, I'd rather kind of figure that out in the first hour, rather than start a series and then dislike it as it moves forward. Biomutant was one such game, where I played it for like an hour, and I was like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna be a good game for me. But I'm gonna oh, no. I played it blind. I played Biomutant blind, right. And we played it blind because one of my brothers had got me that game and wanted to see what I thought about it. So it's like, all right, Dave, like, I know nothing about this game. You wanted to see what I thought about it? Let's go ahead and figure out what type of game it was. I heard nothing about it. And, oh, I did not like Biomutant very much. That is not a game for me in the end. So anyway, so Inside D6 is one of those games where I played for an hour to see if I was going to like it, if it was creepy and what have you. And it wasn't. I suppose it's not terrible, but I will never play it again after I beat it once. There are multiple different endings to the game as well, supposedly, but I'm just not interested in playing it again. Just didn't pull me into it, the setting or the gameplay. Again, most of it was just walking around, and that was it. I think there might have been one scene where something was potentially chasing you or hunting you, and the rest of it was just walking with one or two jump scares again, and one area that was a panic section. Overall, the theme was pretty decent, though. I guess it was kind of creepy. Some of it. We have more metal plates. We'll take those and that. Doesn't look like there is actually a whole lot. Ooh, more steel plates. We'll take those as well. We need the steel plates to make armor-piercing rounds. I'm not taking those. We have plenty of ceramic steel plates. All right, let's go ahead and see what's inside that trapdoor together. This must be where they're controlling the flow for the toxic sludge and fumes up above. Is there really nothing down here except for that one box? Electronic imprint. Nothing really worth it down here. Do I want to improve my perception by one? Sure. We'll drink some juice. Let's see a perception of 10. Let's just see anything down here. It does not. Okay. Alright, well, that's the warehouses searched. So, some metal. Not a whole lot of TNT, though. Which I believe is what we need if we want to make the armor-piercing rounds. And we shouldn't need the power on here anymore. There's nothing that we need to go back there for. Will we shut that door again? Alright, let's drop these metal plates off. And then it's time for the Caceres residential area. What's another game I tried? I fired up a game that I had played a long time ago. Many people like this game, but the game is just not for me. The game is called Examina, and it has a really unique setting that I like. Well, actually, it's not a unique setting altogether, but it's interesting. You wake up and you're in like a dungeon, but it's like isometric view. And you control your character through keyboard input, and by swinging the mouse in certain ways is how your character will swing their weapon, trying to do it in a similar fashion to how you're swinging the weapon. But the game, to me, is very awkward. But then I haven't played it for very long, but I just grew immediately frustrated by the controls. it's not realistic to me at all. It feels way too awkward. My character felt like I was flailing around when I was trying to defend myself from like a zombie that had attacked me. It's a shame that there's actually any enemies in there, because I would have liked to have just explored the area all around. But no, it was just, oh, I couldn't stand it. After playing it for 5 minutes, I just decided it wasn't for me. But that was many years ago, when I fired it up this past Halloween season to see if it was a game I wanted to record. I had all of the same problems that I had originally. We get one more crit with the quality 161 seeker lens compared to what we currently have. That would be worth making level 27 over our level 24 one right now. But we don't have the electronics, and I don't think I have a way to get it that high. I do not. Okay. Can I make armor-piercing rounds with what's down here? No, we need TNT, and we haven't found any other TNT here. Alright, let's stop by that one warehouse where I left a bunch of bullets in it. We'll grab a few rounds, and then we'll head... Gaunt! And we'll head over to the residential area. I just couldn't get used to the game. I intensely dislike the controls. The setting is really interesting. I like how dark things are. You feel like you really want to bring a torch with you as you explore the dungeon. And I like the setting because it's not very often I get to explore a dungeon with a character who's not also like not playing like an FPS game or something of the sort. And it's not real time. So I like the idea behind it, but the controls are just awful for me. I hated it. And this Halloween season, it was no better. I tried it for like I think it was 10 minutes. I began getting used to how to move my character. And then I had to fight a creature, and just as before, I couldn't figure out what on earth I was doing. And the creatures, of course, they have no problem swinging their weapons to hit you. But darn it, if you won't have if your character doesn't feel like he's wielding like a pool noodle, trying to hit it instead, just awful. So not for me at all. There's our bullets. All right, let's take. We don't need that many. Okay. Did I take those? Did I not take those? Did I just split them and not take them? I took them. All right, let's head over to the residential area. Now, I have watched many people play, many people? Like 2 or 3 people play Examina. And it is one of those games where I am very content to watch other people play the game. And they make it look great. But for me, it's not for me. And again, that's one of those games where I'm glad I tried it rather than trying to play it blind, because I could tell immediately, like, oh, I'm going to be the wrong YouTuber to play this game. People who really like it are going to watch me play it, and they're going to see me hate on this game a whole lot and not enjoy myself. And no one wants to see you play a game where you're not having fun. Actually, that's not true. There's lots of people who like that. People suffer in video games, but and you don't want it being too easy, right? Because you do want that sense of suspense when you're watching a YouTuber play. If it's just too easy, then it's boring. At least that's the way I feel about it. So, but you also, I don't know. I don't want to watch someone get frustrated with the game and not understand the rules for the game. Underrail is one of those games where there's so much going on and so much to learn about how to play the game that it can be rather daunting and unforgiving to people who haven't picked it up very quickly, because even the beginning portions of the game are pretty demanding. We are going this way first to unlock that one gate we saw. I tried another game called Carebots, which sounded like a kind of like a Metroidvania-ish game. Only you're playing this floating robot through a space station, attempting to. Well, actually, I don't know what you were attempting to do because I didn't get very far because I absolutely hated the controls. The controls were. They're not. I thought it would be like tank controls, for your robot, but it's not. It's something different. And furthermore, everything in the game floats, but your bot seems to have gravity, and you have to constantly be maneuvering yourself up. After just like 3 minutes, it was like, I hate this. I absolutely hate these controls. This game is not for me, and there was no way to remap the controls either. That was it. So that was all of Carebots. It's in my Steam library as a game I'll never play again. I really should try some of these games out when I purchase them to make sure to see if I like them or not. Instead, I buy them like, that looks good. I'll try that in the future. I like what this developer's trying. And then I try it out and it's like, oh god. Oh, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have gotten this one. A game that had a lot of theme that I had tried this Halloween season, and I really wanted to like it, and I liked it a lot at first, but it became really frustrating because of the controls as I went through the game. It's a game called Sea Salt. It's a real-time strategy horror game of sorts, only you're playing the villain, and you are assaulting this town whose priest decided not to kill himself because you asked him to. Or rather, the god that you serve said, I want you to come into this horrible portal. And the priest was like, no! And so you invade the town with this gibbering horde of monsters. It's fun. I do like the game, and I could maybe hesitantly recommend it. But oh, there's a lot in the game that doesn't work very well. This door won't open. Look at all that fog of war that we'll never be able to get rid of. I found it frustrating because controlling your horde of minions is not like a normal RTS game. You can't click on individual units and group them and send them into different locations. They follow your cursor as you move it around. It reminds me a lot of Goblin Commander would be, I think, the game. Back on the Nintendo 64 or the GameCube. I can't remember what it was. But you controlled your units by having this follow your cursor. And you could issue different commands and have them do different things, depending upon what you wanted to do. And it wasn't very building-heavy, wasn't building-centric. You didn't build a lot of buildings in that game. But it was, after all, a console game. And it was released in the 90s, before, we had the technology we do now. In any case, with Sea Salt, you have all these different types of units, but they move at different types of speeds. And it's like they have different stat lines, and it seems like the game wants you to use very specific enemies against your specific units against specific types of enemies. But they don't... It's very frustrating, because your army moves at different speeds, and they do different things, but most of them are going to be melee, and your units don't hit the enemy all at once, and the enemy's running around away from you, throwing AoE abilities, or generally using a lot of AoE. Actually, now I think about it, most of the enemies in that game are using AoE on you, which is really annoying, because you can lose a ton of enemies. And if you lose like more than 2 or 3, even weak creatures per stage, you gotta retry the stage again. And it can be very frustrating, or I found it extraordinarily frustrating to try to keep my army alive. It seems like there probably is a good way to do it, but you need to unlock all the units to make that a thing that happens. Ancient Rat Hounds. We can kill Ancient Rat Hounds. It's a good thing we can, because one saw us. Where are you? There's 2 of them, but thankfully you're spaced such that I can kill you both, I think. Missed the aim shot. I wasn't expecting to hit it, to be quite honest. I don't know why I took it. Okay, let's reload. I have to wait 1 round till rapid fire's off cooldown again. You can put some bullets into you. Use sprint. That should be good. I don't think he'll be able to attack me. Perfect! And now you died, Mr. Rat Hound. I hope. I should use bullet time. The music for the game was phenomenal. I really liked the organ. The main theme at the main menu when you're selecting your profit was particularly good. I did buy the official soundtrack, even though I didn't like the game very much. The soundtrack was... I'm sorry. Even though I liked the game a lot, but I found it too frustrating to get to the end. I really liked the music for the game, and I definitely wanted that. There's nothing here? Cafeteria. So this is where all the scientists... So the scientists and them lived in the apartments over here. This is where they had dinner, or breakfast, and what have you. So they kept their scientists down here. I guess that would make sense. I keep forgetting what a dangerous place Underrail actually is. So I had recorded, actually, a few videos of the game for my channel. This is one of the reasons as well why I record a good amount of the game before the first video gets uploaded, because if I don't like the game, I'd rather know 8 videos in before I've even uploaded a single video of it to my channel that I'm not going to finish the game, because I can't stand not finishing games I play. Hello, junk. What have you got? You have an entertainment leaflet. It appears to be a promotional leaflet for various recreational entertainment activities. It's mostly illegible. 2 Oddie points. We can study it 4 times, so I'm expecting 3 more of them in here. The idea of sea salt is that you need to surround your enemies because they're running away from you the whole time. But generally, I think well, depends upon the creature. Most of the creatures are faster than most of the enemies, but some of your creatures will not be. They are as fast or slower, depending upon what it is that you're taking with you. And looking back at it now, there are some combinations that are awful. If you make the wrong choice of what type of creatures you want to unlock. You unlock creatures. Master key card. Serious residential block. 1 key card to rule them all. We will take that. What was I talking about? Sea salt. Creatures. I can't remember. Some creatures have abilities that affect an area around them, but they're slow. Like there are these. Well, I guess like the ring, like a girl who had climbed out of a well, and she's drenched with a big ball and chain and frightening looking, and she cries as her attack. But her attack doesn't do anything to my recollection. It just fills the area around. She collapses to the ground and cries, and it fills the area around her with water. And your units that are in that will be immune to fire. But it's only around her. And if you're using like a swarm army, what will happen is that your swarm will be much faster than her and be running up towards the enemy so that you can surround it and kill them. Tim, you still have your EMP grenades here. Anyway, it doesn't work. 1 second. Hello, Greater Coil Spider. Guess what? I saw you coming. That's why you're dead? Let's see. What have you got? Nothing. I wasn't expecting anything. All right, let's move around the corner. Hello. That looks like an elevator shaft there. We can see another elevator from here and some lockers, but there's nothing else we can do here. I guess we'll clear the hallway first. Gives us a chance to look around to see if there's any other webs here and what doors may be blocked or not. I played a game called Inferno, Beyond the Seventh Circle. And how to describe it? It's like Grimrock. A bit, but not. Actually, it would be a more... No, it's not like that game either. Not entirely. but it'd be, I think, more correct to say it's like Star Crawlers more than Grimrock. So it's a grid-based first-person game. You see out of your person's eyes, but it moves like Eye of the Beholder or Legend of Grimrock if you've played those games. But combat isn't real-time. Combat is turn-based. It's a post-apocalyptic world. You are surviving this onslaught of demons. There's leveling in the game. Your character gets stronger, just like I suppose like a Grimrock would have you, and you have to survive by finding food, drinking water, and so on as well. It's interesting. I liked it, but it became very grindy very quickly. And in the end, I realized, you know, this is a game that would be better suited for me having it on and just, I don't know, putting on a podcast while I kill things mindlessly for a few hours, then recording it for my channel. What the hell? That's a lot of coil spiders. Let's activate our shield. We've already been down this hallway and we didn't see anything. Let's run right up to the giant one. Let's use bullet time. I hate that didn't kill you. I have to use another bullet. We move up here. There's another greater coil spider. We have to kill this too. Good. We can move back behind this guy. Move up to this one. And we can't kill it because we can't shoot it. But it's not going to be able to kill me either. Because we have a shield activated. Piece of cake. Now we take all their insectoid saliva. And their egg sacs. Just clear them out of the hallway. Okay. The game's music was pretty good. I like the guitar in it. As usual for games which involve hell and demons, it seems to be par for the course that you play with like heavy metal during it, or this hard rock, and I love it. It's great. Very thematic. The demons look pretty good. I really like the early ones especially. They look like twisted, mutilated humans. Corrupted and twisted in awful ways. I love it. But the combat became a little too easy. There's a bunch of RNG with the loot that you get in the game, in particular as well. And the game actually has, like, it kind of celebrates its grind a little bit, because you're able to, like, open rifts to travel to different, these pocket dimensions that you can stay in for quite some time and kill the demons in there for loot. And if you get enough blood out of it, you can just do it again. And this is how you hunt down, like, you just farm for better equipment so you can complete the main quest or what have you. It's not a bad game. Again, I liked it, but it is very grindy, and I didn't think it would fit the bill for a game for me for Halloween. The early parts were also frightening, but as with Dust Bowl, at some point I had plenty of food and more than enough water, and I knew I wasn't going to be in any trouble of starving to death at any point. I was playing on, I think it was normal difficulty, so maybe I should also have up the difficulty, but I thought normal was good. Some of the early battles are really difficult. Actually, the very early part of the game is by far the toughest, because you're struggling for food and water, you can't really fall asleep anywhere, and a few fights could really do you in unless you get lucky by finding some medical supplies. Again, not a bad game, just a little too grindy for me. Everyone, we're going to skip actually reading all of this text on screen this time. We don't, to my knowledge, need any of this, so I'm just going to skip it. Or we'll be here for another hour just reading all the what's on the computers. I've done it before with Garrett, I've done it before with Gabriel, but not with Decker. We didn't read any of the full M7s either for the Black Sea, so I don't feel like... normally I would, but I don't feel like really reading all of this time. In case you guys are wondering, there was a bunch of research happening down here. They were experimenting with various types of fauna and flora down here. This is where they were doing research on the Faceless, or rather what would become the Faceless as well. There was some discussion going back and forth about that also, about how dangerous it was to have this one faceless be walking around. I forget what its name was now. In particular, something you'll want to note is that someone is like nicknamed the Dude here, and that is indeed a reference to the Dude, who we get the juice from. For example, we can go and talk to him after this about was he the person who had been working down here like 100 years ago, and his reaction is rather interesting. So that's all of those search. We didn't find any oddity points in any of that. Let's go this way. Speaking of juice, my juice expired, so let's have some more of it. Just in case there's any secrets down here. Should we wear these while we're here? I guess we should. We're not going to punch anything down here because we're dealing with coil spiders, and we don't want to charge them by punching them with our electrical power glove, or power fist. So we don't want that, so we'll equip our boxing gloves. If I recall correctly, this was a injured person was staying here, but an incredible scientist. I think the statue out front is dedicated to him. Just in case it matters, I am going to cycle through all of the research notes on these computers. I don't think it does, but I can't remember. Guess I shouldn't have expected that the fridge to hold any food in it. We'll find only canned food for the most... Actually, I think that's the only thing down here that hasn't been eaten by other creatures or spoiled. What's another game, Tim? Oh God! I was looking down at my paper. Didn't notice I walked right into a trap. Psycho no Sotoka. So, there's a game I really liked, and I really wanted to record it for my channel. I was able to, however, beat normal mode my very first try. I really like Psycho no Sotoka. What is it? I think it's Psycho the Stalker is what that is in Japanese, I think. It's a horror game. You're being chased in a school. You are like a senior, and this girl has a crush on you. Depending upon which mode you're playing, I think. I think in the... oh, how do I say it? Sundara? I'm mispronouncing it. In the first one, you are someone she just wants to kill. Because she's jealous of you and your friendship with the boy she has a crush on. And but I played normal mode, which you are playing the boy she has a crush on, and she doesn't want you ever to leave, but she seems to be possessed by something, because her eyes will occasionally glow, as well. She won't act as nice as she is otherwise. She will, but she has a knife. You have no weapon means to defend yourself. And she will stab you to death if she gets close to you. You can hear her footsteps throughout the school as she's looking for you. She whispers when she thinks she knows where you are. You'll hear her say, "I know," like "there you are," and stuff like that. It's really well done. I really liked it. I actually had bought the game some time ago on itch.io, and it came to Steam at some point this year. So I rebought it here also, so I get more frequent updates. In any case, I recorded myself beating it the first time, but I don't know if it would be actually entertaining, because on normal mode, as long as I was keeping my wits about me, she wasn't actually able to catch me, and so I didn't feel like I was any significant danger, at least not in normal mode. I'm probably good enough now to play on hard, but I'm also terrified. Playing on hard. I don't know if I'll be good enough at the game to play on hard. But I did like it a lot, and I can highly recommend if you're interested in it, look up people's videos about it. I'm sure you'll find plenty up on YouTube. I think the dev is working on many different alternate endings for you, and I think one of them, I think. Oh, I shouldn't ruin it in case you do pick up the game. All right, so that's all I'll say about it. If you do like the idea of you being chased through a high school by an incredibly cute girl with a knife, anime girl with a knife, then it's the game for you. You definitely want that game. Just be aware that she will totally kill you, or she could. All right, the dev added the most important thing to the game ever a few months back. He added head pats. You can head pat her. It's adorable. It's so adorable. I love it. I'm such a dweeb. Okay, let's just pound through these archives here. And everyone, we've been playing for like an hour, so I probably should stop. But we'll try to wrap up this area at the very least, and we'll finish up the residential block in the next episode. And apparently, if you want to get into here, we're going to need to step into a web. Oh, maybe not. Maybe there's a way. Maybe the vent shafts lead around. Let's see if that's the case. What's another game that I played? Alder's Blood, the definitive edition. So I've owned Alder's Blood for some time, and it was one of the games, again, that I put on my survey. Hey, we found a secret crawl space! Alright, we'll check that out in a bit. Let's go ahead first, unlock this. Yay for 10 perception. I do kind of wish I had more perception. We're probably missing a bunch of other secrets that are here. Nothing in the footlocker. And nothing in the bathroom. Where do you go? Ooh, new zone. Where is this? Hey! Look! There's someone down here. Gunter Vasilia. Hiding out down here with his lake mushrooms. Hello, Gunter. Well, we're gonna kill you, probably, because I have to search your locker for audio items. I'm so sorry. And you saw me, I saw you. I'm gonna feel really bad about this. Uh-oh. He's got psionic powers. And he used premeditation. Interesting. Let's use morphine. Activate our shield. We don't want to be seen by him. Oh, well, this is not the spot to be in then, Tim. Okay, he wasn't able to reach you. Thanks to you slowing him down. Can I kill him if I run up to him? I can. I can. So let's run up to you, sir. Use bullet time. No! Stupid misclicks. What the heck, game? I was so worried about that, too. Unbelievable game. I freaking hate you. There really should be an undo button for when you misclick. It's far too common in this game. God. Right, we lived. My morphine didn't save me at all. It expired just as he hit me. He waited for it to expire. Good for him. That's pretty smart on his part. Alright, let's bandage. We lived. We lived. What was another game I was talking about? Oh, Alder's Blood. I guess, actually, I'll wait to describe Alder's Blood in the next video. It was very promising, but I ran into some bugs. And because of those bugs, I just had to put it down. I played the game some months ago as well, like before October. And I liked what the devs were trying to do, and I liked the idea of the game. It just needed a little more work. Oh, 2 regenerative pictures. Very nice. Oh, and he has pseudo special protection in that footlocker too. Not a bad place for yourself. You hang out here, you do some fishing, eat some mushrooms, live the dream life of a mutant. I'm sorry, Gunter. But I had to search your room for audio items. There might be an audio item we can fish up there, but I didn't bring my fishing pole with me, so there it will stay if there is one. And everyone, I think we're done. So let me get ready to leave to the next area. And we will finish up the residential area in the next video. So thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully see you then. Take care, everyone.